We're going to go ahead and bring in former Deputy National Security Advisor in Israel, Chuck Freilich. Thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
I mean, gosh, this has been going on for 7 months now. Ongoing fighting. How does this end?
Well, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to end any time in the immediate future. Hamas continues to fight. Just today, we had the first attack on the greater metro Tel Aviv area in the last half year. Imagine if Metro New York, if people had to rush into shelters and life came to a standstill, even if briefly for a few minutes. This has been going on for the last 2 decades. It's been going on since the war began. So Israel has to do what it can to put an end to the military threat. That's still going to take a bit of time. But ultimately, it would be nice if the outcome could be the beginning of a political process.
Well, Hamas continues to use innocent civilians as human shields. What are some of the other new difficulties that the IDF is facing right now?
Well, that, of course, is the number one difficulty, is the use of the civilian population as human shields, denying them access to foods and intentionally creating at least part of the humanitarian crisis. But Gaza is literally one of the most densely built up areas in the world. It's tiny. It's 10 by 20 miles. And most of it is a rabbit warren that is really very, very hard to maneuver through, to conduct warfare. And the result is that it's very, very difficult for Israel. Hamas takes advantage of this, casualties on both sides. And for Israel, it's particularly difficult to do this when it is under growing international pressure, when people don't understand just how difficult this kind of warfare is, and there's an expectation of minimal casualties on the other side. It's not possible. Most military experts in the world think that the IDF has done a very, very good job of minimizing casualties. And yet Israel finds itself, as you were indicating, under growing pressure by the international community.
It is difficult when Hamas is underneath schools and hospitals and safe zones like that. Israel says that the end game is to fully eliminate Hamas, just fully wipe them out. But how do they get there? Some people say it's not even possible, partially because it's an ideology and partially because there are so many splintered groups.
Well, it's true. I mean, the thought that you can totally destroy them is, I don't think, realistic. There will always be some splinter groups left. There will be pockets of resistance, a small unit here, a small unit there. I think Israel essentially disrupted or destroyed Hamas as a coherent military force a few months ago with a couple of pockets, and Rafah is the last of the major ones. When the fighting there started a week or so ago, they still had 4 battalions, their last really significant military formations. They've already been badly mauled. And once that has been done, then we can begin looking at the post-war stage.
Right. Well, we're starting to see more and more isolation from the world. How much support is Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu really losing because of both this ongoing war and what some would even call a lack of determination to get the hostages home? 7 months now.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I think it's important to understand that the demonstrations that you were showing before that have been going on every week in Tel Aviv and around Israel are not against the war. It's not that the public is against the war. There's a broad support for trying to achieve the objective of destroying Hamas as a coherent military organization, eliminating it as the governing body in Gaza. The demonstrations are trying to put whatever public pressure is possible and that's effective on the government to bring the hostages home. Now, most of the government clearly wants to do that. There have been some questions about Mr. Netanyahu's personal motivations, because he seems to be driven largely, and I hate to even say openly, maybe primarily, by questions of his own personal political / legal survival.
Yeah, that's what people are saying.
And that's where the demonstrations are focused
Right.
on, not about the war itself.
Well, Chuck Freilich, former Deputy National Security Advisor there in Israel, appreciate you coming on the program on your Sunday. Thank you so much for your insight.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.